Tick, Tick, Boom is simply one of the best musicals ever. That musical tells a story about John, a music composer who's afraid of having an unreal and impossible dream of becoming a Broadway composer. That musical made me wonder about a lot of things. It made me think about the amount of time they had to rehearse it and about the effort they had to put in it to make it look perfect. But looking underneath the surface, that musical has a very important lesson. Actually, a very important question. What is a legacy? Now, I'm not a specialist and definitely not a professional in the matter. I will, however, dive into that question and look for an answer. Hello, my name is Maria Luíza, and I'd like to start by quoting Lin-Manuel Miranda. According to the writer of Hamilton and the director of Tick, Tick, Boom, legacy is planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. And I find that idea beautiful. Like I can plant a different seed everywhere I go. And so can you. I like to imagine that every day I enter a new canvas with the opportunity of leaving my mark in. But the thing is, in our current society, everything we do has to be big and it has to be worthy of posting on Instagram. My dad and I like to say that if you didn't take a picture of it and upload it to your stories, it didn't really happen. So why would we ever bother about posting that we were kind to a stranger or that we helped an old lady with her groceries? Those are not big things, right? And legacy, that fancy word, it has to be a big thing. So I asked Google, what is a legacy? And it told me that it is a long-lasting impact of a particular action or event. Honestly, that idea is scary. Like, do we really have to do this one big thing in order to have a legacy? In my point of view, no, you don't. Picturing legacy as that scary thing is just scary. And it doesn't really make sense. For something to have a long-lasting impact, it has to be a long-lasting action. So legacy isn't about waking up on a Tuesday morning, getting dressed, and simply making a TED Talk. Legacy has more to do with the amount of times I rehearsed it, and with the time and the effort I had to put in it. Imagine a businessman, okay? His legacy isn't about his enormous company that makes billions of dollars. His legacy has more to do with the daily actions and with meetings that he's always with a smile. What I'm trying to say here is legacy is not the big thing, but all the baby steps that led you there. Now that can be quite confusing. Instead of stressing over this one big thing in order to have a legacy, I have to stress over all those little things? Not really. No, because as long as you're being yourself and as long as you're enjoying the process and planting your seeds, you're good with those baby steps. Now let me ask you a question. Do you think a baby walks better on a wood floor or in the middle of rocks? On a wood floor, right? So the same way a baby walks better on a wood floor, we walk better on our wood floor. That sounds abstract. Let me paint a picture. This is Taylor Swift. She's a singer and a billionaire, and right now she's doing one of the biggest tours in the music industry, the Eras Tour. And that only happened because she was walking on the right wood floor. Her wood floor in this case was Nashville, where she found her first musical producer. If she still were in Pennsylvania, where she was born, it would be way harder for her to walk her baby steps towards her legacy. But is it only the place? Is it only your environment that changes? Or do we also change? We have to think about that because not only we, but also the environment, what's around us, it matters in your legacy. Now let's go back to Taylor Swift. Do you think she's still the same girl that started in Nashville? Probably not, right? She changed it, she evolved, and she learned. So the different people she met, according to where she was, met a different Taylor. Some met Taylor Swift in her fearless era, where she was a teenager and in love. Others met Taylor Swift in her reputation era, where she was quite angry at everything. Those are different Taylors, but they are still the same Taylor. They are what make Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift. And that's what fascinates me about legacy. Like, different people will remind you in different ways. Some may have an image of you, and some will have another, and that's okay. That builds up your legacy because they helped you learn. They saw you change, and they helped you go from the middle of rocks to your wood floor. So where are you walking now? Who's with you right now? Who's helping you, and maybe who isn't? Having those questions answered builds your legacy. Your legacy is not about that big action. Your legacy is about your garden that you're planting right now, about the seeds that you're putting in it, about the time and the effort that you're putting in your daily actions and in what you do. And even though you might not see your garden fully ready, the people around you in your environment, they will. And that's what your legacy is about. Thank you.